Hey, BTB fam, welcome to Behind the Body podcast to those who work in the field, interested in getting in the field, or simply interested in cosmetic surgery. I'm your host, Shomara, owner of Muñeca Services with a passion for educating on cosmetic surgery and what goes down in the MIA. For those who don't know me or my company, I've been in business for the last 6 years in the Miami area, providing pre- and post-op education, care, massages, post-op treatments, and so much more to thousands of dolls across the nation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And as you can hear, all right, I have two special guests with me, and we're chatting it up about working in the Miami beauty industry, implants, fillers, cosmetic surgery protocols, you name it, My Killer Body TV show, and so much more.
Yes.
All right, so my two special guests is Tucker.
What's up? What's up?
Also known as Urban Beauty Boy.
That is me. That is me.
And then we have Barbie.
Yes.
That's her name.
Barbie.
The surgery coordinator. Okay. So
Yes,
I'm going to give y'all some time to introduce yourselves because, I mean, you can't introduce yourself like you can,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So let's get it. I'll start with you. I know it's supposed to be ladies first.
Listen, I know how he is. He wouldn't have it any other way. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate being here. I really do. I am the Urban Beauty Boy. I am the Prince of Miami. Okay, I'm going to claim her title. Okay.
Okay,
The kin of Miami. Okay.
I like that.
As you know, my signature color is pink, and I focus on the beauty industry when it comes to black men and how they're taken care of, especially with their skin. And so I'm happy to be here to talk about my experience working in the industry from that perspective.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right.
And I am Barbie, your true and faithful coordinator.
Yes.
And I have been in the field for over 15 years.
Wow.
I've worked with many very well-known plastic surgeons, but now, of course, I am the coordinator for Dr. Adam Rubinstein, who was featured in My Killer Body. And, you know, I'm just here to help you guys out, make the best decision, the right decision for you.
That's right.
And see how we can help you out.
Yes. All right. So, I mean, that is awesome. 15 years.
15 years.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, I'm old. I know. Doctor, I need a facelift.
No. You're beautiful.
And how long have you been in the field?
I've been in the industry for over 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, I'm a little younger.
So,
Yeah.
fun fact, I actually met Tucker.
Tell him.
Actually, he was just another brown face that I seen. I was working at another plastic surgery center back in 2017.
Yep.
And you were the office manager there,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
For Dr. Mendieta.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
well known. He's actually one of the surgeons who is known for making the book that a lot of surgeons study for Brazilian
Yes,
butt lift.
That's
yes.
right.
And I saw Tucker, and then we followed each other on social media,
Yes.
stayed in contact,
Yes.
and then he was my plug with getting me all the aesthetics that I liked.
You know how I do. You know how I do. Only the best for you.
So I feel like you really introduced me into the world of fillers and Botox. Absolutely, you are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And you know, I love that because I'm not ashamed to say that I get my lips done. I'm not ashamed to get Botox. I have filler in my cheeks, my chin, my jaw, and my smile lines. I have them everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's a way to do it and still look natural and still look like yourself.
Right.
Just like with makeup or clothing, it's there to enhance your beauty.
Right.
You know, and you have such a beautiful foundation already that just
Yes.
adding a little bit here and there is all that
You've
you
been
need.
dropping like little compliments. You've been making me blush.
It's true. It's nothing but the truth. It's true. But yeah,
Oh, thank you.
like I said, I've been doing it for over 10 years. I started off as an esthetician. I've worked in several different offices on South Beach all the way to South Miami.
Wow.
And now Barbie and I work at the same office.
Yes.
In fact, we
do.
worked at Dr. Mendieta's office together.
Correct.
Oh my gosh,
We did.
really? At
We
the same
did.
time?
Yes.
Yeah,
At the same
actually.
time, that's how we met.
Yeah.
And we kept in touch and everything. Then one day, he just randomly called me, and he hadn't even said anything
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
I just picked up the phone,
Yeah.
and I said, yes, come work with me. I'll hire you. And then he's like, great. And then that's it. Like, it was a done deal.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
But the interesting part is because you mentioned My Killer Body, the show on Lifetime, that the current doctor that we provide our services with, Dr. Rubinstein. Barbie tried to get me to come to the office before filming, but she couldn't say anything. She couldn't tell me why, but she was like, come on. I was like, I can't leave. I'm trying to be loyal to the doctor. I'm like, now I can't come.
Oh, you missed the blessing.
I missed it, but Barbie is the blessing. Trust me.
Aww.
Trust me. And so now
He's
that
so
we're
sweet.
together now, and she was on the show, and I really got to see it, and
Yes.
and she's really taught me a lot. She's great.
That is
I love you, Barbie.
amazing.
I love you,
Okay.
Barbie.
So
Thank
when you were
you.
trying to get him
Thank you.
to do the show, what exactly did you want him to come and do?
Well, the thing is that the show it focuses directly with the patient's experience and what they've gone through. But at the same time, we are a team that provides not only the service for the revision for these people, but you know, it's you need those cheerleaders. You need somebody to support you. You need that positive vibe and positive experience, because it's tough when you first go to get plastic surgery and it doesn't go well,
Right.
and then you have to seek another doctor to correct this. You need somebody to really hold your hand, because there comes an emotional baggage that, you know, with it. You feel guilty that you put yourself at a
Yeah.
risk and it didn't come out
Yeah.
the way that
Right.
it's supposed to. So that's one of those things, you know, that K. Michelle did it, and it was absolutely amazing because she put
looks
a lot.
great,
Oh, she
by
looks
the way.
fantastic.
She does,
That
she does.
last post that she put,
I was like, yes. I was like, oh my
wow,
gosh.
Yeah.
yes,
Incredible.
She looks incredible, and
Wow.
you know. She was one of the first people to talk about the illegal injections and things like that,
Yep.
and how dangerous it was.
She's very transparent.
Yes, and we get a lot of
Yeah.
patients with that problem.
Yeah.
And like I said, it comes with a guilt. It comes with that
shame.
feeling that, why did I do this?
Yeah.
And, you know, now it's really when it's coming out, and it's, you know, that people are seeking out to take it out, because there's other people like celebrities. You have Cardi
Right.
B, you have
Yep.
her, you have, you know, all these other people saying it, that it's okay. The shame, put it aside,
Yep.
and look for the help that you need.
Coach
So,
Stormy.
yep. So,
Right. She
Yep.
just recently undergo
Yep.
removal.
Yep.
Thank you. In Colombia? Was it Colombia?
I believe it was in Colombia. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love when people are transparent about their story, because it's so helpful to the next person.
Absolutely.
100%.
You know, because ideally most doctors only want to really work with you, never have gone to another doctor.
Right.
And that's one of the beautiful things about Dr. Rubinstein and the show,
Yes.
My Killer Body, is that he specializes on correcting other doctors' work. So
Yes.
there, you know, don't, that shame and that guilt and that fear that you have, we really try to eliminate all that. We try to look for you
Correct.
like really at the soul and the heart of the person, and let them know that there's something that can be done.
It's definitely very different when it comes to our patients. Like, for example, every single patient that walks through our door that is going to have surgery, they have direct contact with the doctor. They have his cell phone number. They
That
have
is
my cell
amazing.
phone number. They can, you know, call us and reach us at any time. Every single follow-up, every single post-op, the doctor is the one that takes care of
Yep.
you. He's the one that takes out your sutures. He's the one that takes out your drains. He's the one that sees you. He's the one that calls in your prescriptions. So you see him in all of these things. He's very hands-on, and you know, those are things that sometimes you need, because especially when you've had a bad experience with other doctors. You know, that's exactly how it should be. Even if you're from out of town,
Yep.
we have our schedule set. You know, you're gonna be talking to the doctor. You're gonna be sending pictures. We're gonna be video chatting.
Yep.
We are exactly on cue with all of that, and that is important, because not all of us live here in South Florida,
Right.
but we all pay the same amount of money, and we all deserve the same treatment.
It's
Just
true.
because you're not here, that does not mean that you don't have that right.
You're right.
And that is something that, you know, if anything that your viewers can take away, it is very, very important, because you need those follow-ups, you need those post-ops.
true.
Your coordinators cannot just poof after they, you know, they take your money. We are not like that. Like, for example, all of my patients have my cell phone number. You can text me, you can call me
Yep.
at any times on the weekends. Even when I was in vacation, I was answering. You know, of course, family time is family time.
Right.
But it's important to us, it's important to me that you're taking care of it. If I cannot take care of it, I will send you to exactly who needs to be there.
Wow,
So,
impressive. So I feel like, because majority of my followers, majority of my clientele go to clinics, right? And with clinics, it is significantly cheaper, which
Yes.
means they have totally taken out the customer experience
Yes.
completely out of the
Yes.
deal,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, and then a lot of our listeners, I'm sure, are not going to high-end doctors, right?
Correct.
So, and you know, that to each his own, right? But I love the fact that you stated that, you know, the doctor is actually following up, you know,
Yes.
calling in the prescriptions, because from me speaking to my clients, they don't see that.
Well, you
That
know,
is not their experience.
I talk to a lot of the patients, and I understand everybody has their budget. Everybody does, and that is okay.
Yep.
But I can guarantee you a patient that is here in South Florida will have their follow-up appointments. So you should too, because you're paying for the same amount of money.
Yeah.
So even if it's over the phone, even if it's through video
Virtual.
chat, you should definitely, make sure that they have those services, because it is important. And I don't understand how these types of clinics, and they should have that protocol.
Yep.
Because nobody wants complications. The patient doesn't want complications. The doctor doesn't want complications. Sometimes communication is key. Something so little that could be taken care of like, okay, this suture is, needs to be taken out, instead of making it, a big thing that it just keeps going on and then it gets infected and things like that. So as long as there's communication, that's fine. But I think that, here in South Florida, the clinics have grown so quickly, and it's been such a boom that they haven't had the chance to catch up with it. And that is the one thing that I wish that they did, because yes, you're right. I cannot go to Hermes and buy a Birkin, But, I expect that Louis Vuitton or even Target, I'm going to have the same treatment as anybody else, respect, and, I pay this money.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they should do that. These people are human beings. They put their trust in you, no matter no matter how much you pay, no matter if it was on sale or whatever the case might be, you have to give that level of service. It's still medicine. It's
true.
still surgery.
Still
You
people.
have to care for your patients.
Wow.
That is absolutely something that I don't understand. These doctors, they took an oath as physicians. You have to take care of your people.
Yep.
These are people that they are seeking a service to make themselves feel better.
Yep.
And when they don't, or something goes south,
Yep.
it is a detrimental thing to their mental health,
Yeah.
to their family.
Yeah, the people next to them.
So then I really feel for these patients. And Dr. Rubinstein can tell you, like, my patient cries and he's there taking out 2 Kleenex, one for the patient and one for me. Because it hurts me so bad.
Wow.
Because imagine, you go and you put all of your pennies together to get this one surgery, and you just had a baby, you want a tummy tuck, you want to look good for your man, you want to look good for yourself and everything, and then you go have the surgery, and because you were not properly taken care of, then you have all these other complications. Because let's face it, anything can happen with surgery. Surgery is surgery.
Absolutely.
It's invasive, But it's the follow-up that's important, because you want to make sure to do the right thing and to be educated. And that's the one thing that I don't like about centers.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, because like I said, everybody has their budgets and everybody knows what they can afford and they cannot afford. And we don't judge in any which way.
Right.
But there is still a service that they have to give. There's still physicians, there's still surgery, there's still humans, there's still patients. And that's the way I feel about them.
But at the end of the day, you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And if you go to a place where you're choosing it based off of price, even whether you're shopping around from doctor to doctor, and if you're and it's not clinic to clinic, it's doctor to doctor. We're on the penthouse, okay? You can shop from penthouse to penthouse, and if it's based off price and not the connection and relationship you have with the office and the doctor, then you really are. I feel like you're choosing your doctor for the wrong reason. If it's based off price,
Wow, interesting. I love that you guys are bringing this aspect, because like I said, I deal with the everyday Sarah and Joe, right, that goes to these clinics. And, like I said, nothing wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
But to each his own, right? We all have our own preferences, what we like, what we don't like. And so to hear you guys say this, and I can tell you have so much compassion, because I see it in your eyes, and you seem very passionate about what you're talking about. And I can honestly say I've spoken to, and this is no disrespect to any other surgery coordinators, but I can honestly say, like, I truly believe you are genuine and that you truly do care for these patients, because I'm gonna keep it honest. Like, most of the time, these surgery coordinators, they're doing it for the money. There's a lot of money in this industry, and they're doing it for the money.
Yep.
They are.
But I can tell you care.
No, I do. Like I said, my patients have my cell phone number, and I always answer. It's something. I just don't want to be that person. I don't want to be known as a coordinator that, okay, you took my money, you took my deposit, you took my balance, and then, I'm nowhere to be found. That's not the way that I want to be. We want to keep that boutique type of relationship, and it is a relationship. Even when my patients, when they come in for consultation, I always tell them, we're here to give you all of the tools to make a decision, the right one for you. We might not be the right one for them,
Right.
So they need to choose. And I also feel like it has to be like a love affair, right? It is true.
Yeah,
It's like
no, I
falling
love
in love.
that.
If you don't have that chemistry with your
Yep.
coordinator and your doctor,
Yep.
you shouldn't be there.
Yep.
Because
I totally
you
agree.
want to feel at the end of the day that you made the right choice. And if you have that tick, that little thing that is like, maybe not, don't do it. Don't do it. And I always encourage a second opinion because you want to make sure that it's the right thing for you.
Right. So always going with your gut feeling.
Yes.
So let's talk about what services, what is your role at the office and what you do.
I want to hear what he says.
Okay.
I know what role he has. I want to hear what role he has in his mind.
And it's mine.
No. Let me give you my card. Wait. No, here, Barbie. Go ahead, take my card. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get my card. Go ahead, take my card. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
So I am the patient liaison, okay?
Oh,
that is my
liaison.
title, okay? So I'm the first and last person you see before and after you go.
I like that. The first and the last.
The first and the last, okay? So obviously my job is to make you feel comfortable, okay? Because a lot of times when you walk into a doctor's office, you don't know what it's going to feel like. It's going to either feel very medical or it's going to feel very fun.
Yeah.
And I lean towards the fun side of it.
I agree.
It should be fun. In fact, and we prefer patients that come in smiling because the patients that come in just
Stressed.
those aren't, they're gonna be like that after surgery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we kind of make sure that the vibe and the energy is conducive for healing, conducive for sharing,
Yes.
for being able to communicate and express
Yes.
yourself, because that's another important part is for, if you're trying to make the best decision for you, you need to be heard, you need to be understood. And so the bedside manner of a doctor is equally as important, as well as what he does in the operating room. And that's one of the things I love about Dr. Rubinstein is that he actually listens and takes care of his patients
Wow.
as long as it takes. So
Yep.
we may book them for an hour consultation, but if they have questions that go past that hour, my job is to apologize to the next patient. I'm
Correct.
sorry, the doctor will take the same amount of time with you.
And he
Wow.
does.
And he does.
He literally takes at least an hour with each patient.
Amazing.
He
Even
will,
over the phone.
Yep. Absolutely.
over the
His
phone.
virtual consultations are an hour long, and he will go over every single detail that you need to go through.
And you ask any question that you
Yes.
want. There's no dumb question. There's
Nope.
no, even if you ask the same question over and over again, it does not matter. And even when, obviously, you would think that the persona is given one way, right? But he's like that all the time.
Wow.
All the time. And I think it starts from the top. Why I'm so good at my job is I try to be as good at my job as he is at his.
Amazing.
Correct.
And so, my job is to schedule your appointments, schedule your follow-ups, schedule your lymphatic massages, and coordinate you with people like Shomara if you need some
Yes.
aftercare help. And and that's really
And
it.
you
I
ring
answer-
the bell.
I ring the
You ring
yes.
the bell.
Yes.
Tell us about the bell.
I brought the bell.
You should have brought the damn bell that I hate so much and bought.
She hates the bell. She
I
hates the
bought
bell.
it and it was a mistake.
So I believe before every miracle,
Okay.
there is a big sound, okay? And so I like to create my own sound. So I have a bell that I ring,
Okay.
okay? Because I know that good things are coming, and so I ring
Happy
it for
healing.
happy
Ding, ding,
healing,
ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding.
Oh,
It's all
I
about
love
that.
that.
But at the same time, if Barbie's wearing a cute pair of shoes, I'm like ding, 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 ding.
It's just like, no.
I ring it for all positive things, and so having that energy again, that sound, all that,
Yes.
that it creates such an atmosphere.
Patients even ask for the bell.
Yep.
Really?
Oh
Yep.
my God.
So they
yes.
want you to ring the
Yes,
bell.
as
Yes.
they're reeling out of
He
their
is
surgery,
known for the
bruised
bell.
and swollen, I'm like, ding, 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 happy healing.
Aw,
Yeah.
I love that. Well, that's
Yes,
a great thing.
it
So
is.
you brought it for
Patient
that
liaison.
purpose or no?
Well, he asked
I
me
asked
that
for
he
it.
needed something, some kind of sound, and he's like, maybe a bell. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a bell. I bought two. I have the other one hidden. And I'm hoping, because let me tell you, all day with that bell, he walks around like ling-a-ding, ling-a-ding, ling-a-ding,
I love
ling-a-ding.
it.
Oh my
I love
goodness.
it. I
That
love
is
it. I love it.
amazing.
Yes, I'm
Well,
here on the phone. Yes, yes, yes.
loud.
And you're like gling, 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 gling.
You're
It's an
like,
instrument.
sorry.
I had to learn how to play it.
Yeah.
Okay, that is amazing.
technique.
I like the fact that you celebrate, right?
Yes.
That they've had a successful surgery and they're on their way to the second part of their journey. I
Yes.
think
Yep.
that's amazing.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, go Tucker.
Patient liaison. That's me.
The
That's me.
liaison.
And I know you kind of gave like a brief synopsis of what you do,
Yes,
but
yes.
do tell.
So I am the coordinator. I am the patient coordinator. I would like to think I'm Dr. Rubinstein's right hand, but it's actually right and left because
Yes,
you know,
yes. It's true.
It
It's
is
true.
what it is at the office. Yes. So what I do is I go in for the consultation. I take care of my patients. You know, through the whole process. Really, I schedule their surgery, their pre-ops, but I really am there through the whole journey, through everything, during their pre-op, during their surgery, even after surgery. If I'm not able to be there to greet them, I always leave them a card,
Yep, handwritten.
telling them that I wish them the best, that I leave them in the best of hands, but if they need anything, I'm
Yep.
only a call away,
Yep.
you know, and things like that. I follow up with them because I do care. I call their spouse or their significant others, making sure that they know how they're doing during surgery and things
amazing.
like that. So I'm very hands-on, and you know, I deal with everything else. Anything that you need, anything concierge that they need, I take care of.
Wow.
And if they can't get in touch with any of them, usually I'm the first person they reach. So my job is to either relay the message, and a lot of times I'm like, did you text them? You have their number. Did you tell the doctor this directly?
Right.
You know, so my job is to reinforce. Call him, text him. He's there for you. Let him know.
Amazing.
Isn't it funny how we give all of these things? We give our cell phone numbers and everything, and people always think, "Why would you do that? You know, they're gonna be calling you." People don't abuse. They don't. Instead, they are so careful, and they'll call the office, and I'm like, "Why didn't you just text me or call my cell phone?" You know, you,
Well, I
you
guess
didn't have to wait.
That must be the difference with price, because I feel like because you guys, well, not you guys, right?
Yeah.
But the
I think,
office or the doctor
you get your
chart,
paperwork.
that's the case.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, and I'm just thinking about when I used to provide post-op care and with a care team and having, you know, 7 clients for the day, I felt like they did abuse the phone number. They did abuse texting and calling
wow.
2, 3, 4 a.m. And mind you, they only paid me a couple $100. So if they're paying thousands, I'm like, man, maybe I need to switch clientele.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
If they're paying
That'll filter out.
thousands of dollars,
They
then
are-
that's the
they-
difference, I guess, right?
People do not abuse. They do not abuse. Instead, they are like almost embarrassed, and they're
Yeah.
like, "I'm so sorry that I'm calling." I'm like, "Honey, don't worry, it's
Wow.
fine."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I'd much rather them call me or text me. You know, it doesn't matter how silly the question, than them have a true emergency
Yep.
and them not communicating.
Yep.
That is
Absolutely.
absolutely not acceptable for me.
Yep.
So then I want to make sure that they call me and that they reach out. And the doctor, the same thing. He could be in London, anywhere, and he's answering his phone.
travels
He's
a lot.
answering all of his
Amazing.
questions and things like that. So
Wow.
that's what we're for, you
Yep.
know.
Okay.
Like,
That's what you
we
pay for.
like that.
Now,
That's
are you
the
the
thing.
only coordinator in-house?
Yeah, where's my bell? Where's my bell? Yes, the one and only, the best. Absolutely, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I am the only coordinator.
Awesome.
I really like it. I really love it. It's funny because Dr. Rubinstein and I, we have been trying to work together for a few years before, and it just didn't match up, right? And then the last time that I went to see him, I was like, listen, I really want a home.
Okay.
That's what I want. And then I started working there, and it was like I always been there, like my whole life. And doctor, you're stuck with me. I am so sorry, but I like it. I love the energy. I love the energy of the office. Our office manager, our PA, who is our injector, she's amazing. Ramsey's great. Everybody's great. So there is just this team that it has the same energy, the
Yep.
same goals, the same everything that
Yeah.
we want. So
Amazing.
it just works really well.
Nice.
It
And
really does.
I believe the office, the space, the actual square footage is blessed. It is blessed. I believe it's holy. I believe that great things happen. I feel blessings happen. I feel like it on past plastic surgery, you know, great things just happen from there. And I meet a lot of great, you know, clients from there that great things happen. So it's just, and I think it starts from him.
Wow, awesome. I love the fact that you said it starts from him, the doctor.
It does.
Yes.
Because I feel like, once again, relating to the clinics, it doesn't start with the doctor. And actually, that's the last thing.
Yeah. You may not even get the same
Unfortunately.
doctor that you were told you would get.
Right.
Yeah.
That happened to me.
Oh.
That happened to
You
me.
know.
Yeah, so I know. Wow. I like that you said that. Okay, so and how long have you been Dr. Rubinstein?
How long has it been? 2 years?
2 years,
Already?
yes.
I know.
Wait,
Time
time
has
is
flies.
flying.
I know.
When you're having
Scary.
fun,
And how about
absolutely.
you?
Actually, 3 years. I
3
haven't with him. I haven't been with him for too long, but I feel like I've been there
Me too.
10 years.
Me
I've been
too.
there my whole life.
It feels like
you
your
know?
office.
I know.
Okay, so what's the most popular procedure?
Well, the most popular procedure for us is actually brachioplasties, which is arm lifts, because for the same reason that he's so involved with the patient. Remember, patients that have had a lot of weight loss, bariatric patients, they're very emotional because you lost all this weight and it's not easy. Okay,
Right.
Then you have all this a laundry list of things that you want to do. So you need somebody that has compassion, that understands you, and that's really gonna be there through thick and thin.
Yeah.
So, and this is his favorite procedure. So we do a lot of brachioplasties. We do a lot of lower body lifts, and unfortunately, we do a lot of revision surgeries from other surgeons.
Unfortunately.
Because it's unfortunate because you have these patients that you go in wanting to look your absolute best, and then it doesn't go how you want it to be, and then you need an additional surgery.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that's where
And you
we
turn
come
on
in.
yourself.
Yeah.
Not only do you blame yourself for doing it, and it was vain, and it was elective, and it was cosmetic, and it's my fault, but now when you look in the mirror, all you say are negative things. All you do is talk about what you don't like and how it was your fault.
Right,
And
right.
so
You start hating yourself.
You start hating yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, we have to really kind of work on the psychology
Yes.
first and the mental part of it. And I think that's a point of difference for the doctor, is that he really cares about that part of it as well.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In addition to his technique being amazing.
Yeah.
And he believes in accuracy over speed. So patients patients' spouses or their partners will call and constantly, how is it going? How's it going? It's going great. He's taking his time.
Oh.
He wants to make sure everything is perfect.
His
versus-
sutures, remember, he sutures everything himself. So
Yes.
he's very tedious when it
Yes.
comes to that. And this surgeries, there's a lot of suturing going on. Just with brachioplasties, there's 3 levels of sutures that are going on.
3 levels.
So then that's a lot in a long time. And he's very precise.
That's
so
awesome.
that's great,
Even on his facelifts, with the facelift, there's so much blood in the hair and different things.
He opens the salon.
He says he's like, time to open the salon. He washes the patient's hair.
Oh,
He
wow.
shampoos.
Conditioner.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes,
Combs
yes.
it out.
So that way, when they wake up from the surgery, they don't have all that gunk from the surgery.
I
Yes.
love that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you guys actually seen that procedure being done?
Yes.
Yes.
It's amazing,
Yes.
right?
I've seen
It's gross.
rhinoplasty.
Said it's gross.
I've seen everything.
Yeah.
I've seen everything.
I've seen them all, but facelifts is one of those things that I just faces and noses.
Yeah.
The
I can't.
nose is kind of scary to watch, but I will say the most impressive one to me has been the facelift because it's
Yes.
literally like mask off.
Yeah.
I know.
I recorded that procedure before when I used to work at a surgery center, and and at Mia, and I mean it was amazing to watch. I was
It
like,
is.
oh shoot,
It
that's
is.
how
You
it.
see everything from here. I was like, ah!
Yeah, it is scary, but I mean I thought it was pretty cool.
It's an art, honestly.
Yes,
It really
for
is.
sure. For sure. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the most popular procedure. Okay, now you talked about being there. I know you weren't there yet, but My Killer Body.
Yes.
What was it like working on with that show?
It was very emotional.
Yeah.
It was very. It took.
Even when you watch it.
Yes,
It's
it
emotional.
took a lot from me emotionally because these girls and these guys really went through a lot. Like we even had a patient that, her stomach opened, and the only way that she had people to help her out was social media and nurses that didn't even live in her own city telling her to put honey because she had necrosis and things like that because her doctor wouldn't answer. It was awful.
Did
And
she have surgery in Miami?
Yes.
Oh.
We had another gentleman that he had surgery and he had a hematoma for over a year, fluid and everything. So a seroma, I'm sorry. He had a seroma for over a year. The doctor would never see him and things like that. So it was rough. And just hearing all these things, we had another patient that she had a special needs child. That it took
Life
a
doesn't
lot
stop.
for her to have her surgery, and then for it not to be right, and then to go back to another surgeon to correct it. And remember, once you have surgery, even though you're correcting something that wasn't virgin. So there is never 100% bulletproof that is going to be perfect,
right?
Because of what happened before. So it's tough to
I like the
explain
fact that you said that
Yes.
it may not be perfect, because I think a lot of people go into corrective surgery thinking that, okay, he's going to make it right, and there's no ands, if, or buts.
Correct. That is very, very true. We had a patient that had a brachioplasty at another place, at a center here in South Florida as well. She couldn't raise her arm all the way, so she could only raise it up to here. So imagine that, and the muscle tone and the muscle weakness that she had afterwards, and we had to correct it. It's a lot. And and I think the show just really shined into really doing your homework, really, and a lot of it had to do with post-care. A lot of it was with post-care. So then those things, it breaks my heart, and I get angry because these are people that should be treated with respect, no matter what.
Okay,
no matter what.
So you said it has a lot to do with post-op care.
Yes.
What is the protocol when the doctor operates on your patients, right? What is his protocol? What should they do? Do they stay in the hospital?
Well, if you have a tummy tuck, if you have lipofat transfer, which is a BBL, and let's just be clear, a BBL is the #1 procedure to have complications. If you have a lower body lift or anything that is too lengthy, our patients will stay overnight with a private nurse.
In-house?
In-house.
In our
Penthouse.
penthouse.
Okay. Yes.
Make it clear.
So that is something that it's non-negotiable, because we do have a lot of patients like, oh no, I have somebody to take care of me. I'm going to be more comfortable in my home. If you have a facelift, if you have a neck lift, absolutely not. You are staying there.
Wow.
You are staying there with a private nurse. You will be the only patient there. And everything is about you.
And you're the very first patient the doctor sees in the morning.
Yes.
Awesome.
And then
Love that.
he will clear you to go home.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you had breast surgery or a brachioplasty, you will be seen the next day, because when it comes to breast and things like that, there's always that risk. It's not a high risk, but there is a risk of a hematoma, and he wants to make sure to see you to make sure that everything's going well.
And for the people who don't know, what is a hematoma?
So a hematoma is collective blood. So like if there is a vessel that is bleeding or anything like that, then that's something that you really need to take care of right away. So if you do have breast surgery and you notice that one of your breasts is double the size, there's always going to be some swelling. One breast is always going to be more swollen than other, but if it's double the size of the other breast, you absolutely need to call your surgeon right away. It's urgent. And hopefully it's not that, but if it is, it needs to be taken care of. You probably need just to open it up and make sure that whatever vessel is bleeding, it needs to be cauterized, and that's it. It's a simple, thing to do, but it needs to be taken care of right away. And this is why he sees the patients the next day.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So in regards to, we talked about surgeries, right?
Yes.
You guys are also known for aesthetics. So
Yes.
That's my
She
favorite
got
part.
excited,
That's
right?
my favorite part.
Of course.
Yes.
Talk to us about fillers and Botox.
Woo.
I mean,
Well, one
there's
thing
just
about
so
our
much.
office in particular that I love, we have an expert injector. Her name is Ramsey. She is known for her lips, but she really does facial harmony. She balances the face. It's not just one area. It's really making sure the face is completely balanced. But our office carries every single product that there is when it comes to filler. The entire rainbow, entire gambit of name brand fillers. So for Juvenile, Restylane, Botox filler, Xeomin, Daxamite, we carry everything. So she has every single tool that is necessary in order to give you what you want.
Nice. Okay. So, what type of fillers, if you don't mind me asking,
Ooh.
have
He
you
does
done,
not mind,
Tucker?
believe me.
I don't mind. So just yesterday,
Yes.
I had my lips injected.
Oh, I thought they looked a
They
little
look
more
little-
plump.
Can you zoom in?
I can't.
Thank you. Mhm.
I can't with you.
Yeah, I had my lips injected, right? But Ramsey is really, she's unique because she does not work on other people's work. She doesn't work on top of it. So she will dissolve your lips. If you have a filler already, she will dissolve
Correct.
and start fresh. And she will give you her exact lip that she does.
Wow.
And this is it.
Wow. So, did she have to dissolve your work?
Yes. And you know who did my work.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Dissolved it. All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
Well, how long does fillers last?
Filler typically lasts about a year. So 9 months really is kind of like the point that you want to go back and do it again. But it can last up to a year. But when you work in the industry and you get it done every like 3 months,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of builds.
Must
never
be
really,
nice.
it's really-
Oh, yes.
It never really
Those are the
goes
perks.
away. Those are the big
That's why I
perks.
can't work anywhere else.
Okay, let me come work for Dr. Rubinstein.
This is a $15,000 face right
Yes,
here.
my
yes.
I
gosh.
can afford it.
Yes.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
She did my cheeks. She put a little filler in my cheeks.
Okay.
And she likes to use a couple different products, but she also did my nasolabial folds. This is for the first time I ever had that filled. I'm
Oh,
so happy with
really?
that. My smile lines, yeah.
Yes.
And she put a little filler in my chin.
Okay.
Along that, so the profile's a little. And she
Yes.
also did my jawline.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
And a little bit of Botox around the crow's feet, forehead, and frown lines.
Wow. Now did it
And
hurt?
under my eyes as well. She done. Take a look under my.
I
Look
can't
at
with
my
you.
eyes.
I see.
You
I
see
see
that? You
it.
see that?
She sees your eyes, honey.
Okay. Just look into my eyes. So yeah.
So did it hurt you?
No.
Oh,
No.
you must have a high tolerance.
I mean, yes,
Actually,
and
he's a little baby.
I'm a big baby.
Yeah.
But Ramsey has like a 3-layer technique of numbing, and she uses saran wrap to insulate it so that it penetrates deeper so that you don't feel a thing.
And she even switches like the syringes.
Yes.
So like that on your lips, she uses a thinner, smaller syringe.
Like an
So
insulin needle.
it doesn't really hurt. It really doesn't. Because
Wow.
I've had my lips done by other providers and oh my God.
It was painful.
It
Yeah.
was painful. I thought I was gonna die. It was like
Yeah.
childbirth.
Yeah.
It was awful.
that bad?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yes, yes, no, but she's
goodness.
really, really good. She has a really good hand, and you'll be surprised. And she really does give you what you want
Yep.
and at the same time what you need, because that's something that you can say, oh no, I want my cheeks, but then she's like, no, actually what you need is
Your temples.
your temples, or you
Yeah.
need this to harmonize that and things like that. Like I have like 6 mLs
Yep.
of filler in my face,
Wow.
and you can't really tell. And and she will also say, no, you don't need filler there. What you need is clear and brilliant.
Yep.
What you need is tightening. What
Yep.
you need is this. What you need is that. So then those are things that you want, because just saying what this influencer has this types of lips and stuff like that, it doesn't work that way. Your lips are a canvas, and we enhance your lips. We don't necessarily could change them. And that's
Okay.
so as many times as we hear, I want Kylie Jenner's lips.
I know, because
No.
I want Kylie Jenner lips.
So do I, honey. I even buy her lipsticks, but it ain't happening.
But what you can have are the Ramsey lips. And Ramsey's going to give you
I'm
the
gonna have to go
lips that
check
you
out
need.
her work.
Oh,
will.
yes.
She's great.
She's very good. She's very, very good.
And she's a hot girl. Like, she's a party girl. She's like,
Is
she's
she?
the coolest, like,
Oh,
socialite.
yes.
She gets into all the best clubs.
She's
like,
beautiful.
Wow.
She's one to know, trust me.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely someone to check out that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Right. Wow. Okay. And so, okay, I know you said a little bit. You have the lips. What
Oh,
else? Yeah.
no. She needs to go through the whole list of everything she's had
Okay.
done. Yes,
From
the
here
real
down.
Barbie. The
The
real
real
Barbie. Go
Barbie.
ahead.
So this is the $15,000 phase a year, let's say.
Yes.
A year.
Well,
15,000
roughly.
a
Every 9
year.
months.
Okay, every 9
Okay,
months.
thanks, Urban Beauty Boy. So I do get Botox, Dysport, I do have PRP, I do have under eye filler, I do have my cheeks done, I do have my nasolabial folds, I do have my lips done.
Yes.
I have like 2 mLs of in my lips.
Yep.
I have my chin.
Yep.
I have a lot of lasers.
Yeah.
I have soft wave. I have PRP.
Yep.
I have microneedling.
Yep.
I have Clear and Brilliant. Clear and Brilliant, by the way. The
And
best
Clear, the
invention
best laser of
ever.
all time.
Really? And your skin looks really good too.
It is.
She's glowing.
Yeah.
That laser
Sculptra.
is amazing. Sculptra. So then I get all these things, and it is perks, and that's why I can't leave because,
Right.
you know, my
That's
husband
true.
will kill me if I spend this much money. But,
That's
you know,
true.
hey, listen, if you can, it's definitely, it's really good.
And it's smart to have the person who's at the front desk,
The alpha.
the alpha, you know, and the
Don't
omega,
help, honey. Don't help. Don't help here.
to have these
couldn't
things
help it.
done, you know, because people will come and say, I want your lips.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want, you know,
Yeah, because you're the first thing they see.
and I'll tell them where to get it.
Yep.
Just right around the corner.
Yep.
Room 1.
Never mind.
You know, and so then and that really helps create the conversation because I think what's important for anyone who works at the front desk or anyone who's looking for someone to have at the front desk is they need to have someone who can have a conversation with any and everyone. But the conversation needs to be geared around what's offered in the office. And if you're going to talk about me, which my favorite topic, we're going to talk about what I got done.
I cannot with
You
you.
know? We're going to talk about what I got
You
done.
don't live
what
with
I'm about
him
to do
every day.
next. You don't, yeah. Welcome to my world. My world. And so that really helps, I think, drive the business. You know, it helps with patients rebooking. It helps with patients referring friends and telling other people. And it really helps us keep like the patients that we want there.
Absolutely.
You know, because I think that's important for anyone who has their own business and their clientele. You want your type of patient.
Yeah.
You know, that is meant to be there, that wants to be there,
Correct.
who loves what you do, and is not going against like the provider. So we have some of the best patients, and I think that having me fully injected helps everyone.
Oh, yes. I mean, we get it a lot, like when patients say, oh, you know, I don't want lips that are huge and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, she does my lips, and I think that they're very natural. And they're like, oh, my God, you had your lips done.
Yeah.
You're almost 80 years old, and you look this good.
I'm done.
But let me say, it does take, like, you think one syringe is a lot. It
is not.
Really?
It does not go very
It is
far.
not. It's less than 1 teaspoon.
Less.
And
Less.
isn't like one syringe typically like from $500 to $1,000, or maybe in your office a little more?
Well, it's actually, it starts around $650.
Okay, for one syringe.
For one syringe.
Wow.
It does go a long way. You can always start with one. But like, for example, and this is what some people don't understand. 1 syringe and 2 cheeks,
Nothing.
that's nothing.
Wow.
So
Very, very
remember,
noticeable.
it's
I have one in each.
exactly.
Wow.
So then you have to, you know, sometimes it's better to save a little bit more and get the results that you want than just have that little bit put on and then you get swelling and you're like, I love it. And then the
Yeah.
swelling goes down and you're like, ah. And that's what happens a lot with lips. Because a lot of patients go in and they're like adamant, like, I only want half a syringe. Well, that half a syringe is going to look great for 3 days.
Right.
Wow.
You
right.
will call me
Right.
on the 5th day.
Right.
And you're going to want more.
But I will say,
Interesting.
Ramsey is very smart in that way because she knows how half a syringe will react in the lips. And so for a patient who is nervous or their first time or is a little apprehensive about getting it done, she'll start off very, very small.
Okay.
Just kind of give you an idea of what it'll look like, you know, for later on. And so she'll gradually work you up to it. But just for the record, it takes a lot to look this good. A lot. And if you can afford it, then, you know, do it. If you can't, work at a place that offers it. But-
Right.
Bottle service, girls.
you know what I'm saying? You know, come on over. But in the meantime, Ramsey's going to help you like get you to there. It's a
Okay.
process. It's not
Yes.
all done at one time.
Right.
Even all 10 syringes that I have in my face isn't done at one time.
Yeah.
It's over time. That's how I stay looking natural. That's how people stay.
Yep.
I love that.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't look overdone, and neither do you.
Thank you.
I think that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Neither do you.
Because I do have work done.
I love it.
Just a little, you know.
Just a little, you
What have
know.
you got? Come on, that host. What have you
Yes,
done?
what, don't tell how many mLs, please.
Well, that's funny enough. I don't know how many mLs, but I did do my job. Okay, thanks to you, because I was like, Brandon, I want this look, and he's like, oh, that's definitely filler. And like, you were kind of like hyping me up about it. And then I had the opportunity to be a model for an injector at a med spa, and she went to work on my face last year. And
Good.
I think I even reached out to you today.
Yeah, go ahead and say it. You say it. I'm not gonna say it. You say it.
The next day, I woke up. And I was super swollen. I felt like I looked like a clown, essentially.
Yes.
Like I just did way too much Botox, and I was scared.
Yeah.
And so I text Brandon, I'm like, is the swelling gonna go down? Like, what is this?
It looks very exaggerated because of the swelling.
It's 3 days.
But what I told you was it's in the right places.
Right, you did say that.
It's in the right places, and so once it goes down and it settles, it'll be chef's kiss.
Yes.
And it was.
Yes.
And you look great. Absolutely.
Yeah, you look amazing.
Yes, I got
Those
the
cheeks
cheeks.
are
Okay,
beautiful.
you noticed. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I don't even
Yeah.
have to contour anymore because it's just there.
It's just there.
It's just there. But thank you. I appreciate hearing from the professionals themselves that it was
Absolutely.
good work.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny. I just had the injector here earlier as a guest.
Oh, nice.
And we talked about that story because although she did tell me, it's one thing to hear it like, oh yeah, you're going to go through swelling. And then the next day you wake up and it's like, wait, what did I just
They
do?
were right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, I need to ask other people.
Yeah.
Is this normal?
Yeah.
You know?
And you want to know when is it going to go away? Because while you're swollen, there's no sign that it's going to go away.
Right.
And so and I think that's part of my job as a patient liaison is letting you, it's going to go. It's going to go down. Don't worry.
Right.
It's part of the process.
And I definitely wore a hat for like a week straight. Because I just felt like it was just too much.
Yeah.
It was way too much.
Yeah.
But I love the result once it settled in, at 3 weeks. And so I guess with that said, how do you guys handle patients who may be a little disgruntled after their work, their surgery or their facials, the fillers? And how do you deal with that?
Well, actually, when it comes to surgery, we prep them so well.
Okay.
But so incredibly well because, like, for example, 2 weeks before the surgery, we speak to the patient again. And we let them know of all the instructions, and Dr. Rubinstein speaks to them again. So he even goes into more detail of the post-op and what to expect. And we don't sugarcoat it. There is patients that we need to really tell them, you really need to make sure to have help. You have to take it easy. You have to make sure to, drink a lot of fluids and things like that. And you're going to feel this, you're going to feel that. One of the things that I tell my patients is, the first day when you go home, you're going to be like, oh, this isn't so bad. And you've heard this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then comes the day after when the anesthesia is completely worn out. You're only on painkillers. And then you're like, oh, my God, what did I do? This is all normal. So then when you tell somebody ahead of time, it kind of kicks in. It's like, okay, this is what they talked about.
Yep.
And then I always tell my patients, the first 3 days are always the hardest. The third day, you have the highest amount of swelling. And then it starts coming down. That's when, you kind of start getting your groove back on or the grasp on what's going on.
Yeah.
And I am very blunt with them. I've had some work done, a lot, maybe too much,
Go ahead.
anyways, we're not here.
Barbie.
We don't have 2 hours.
For a reason.
Tell us, right.
Go ahead,
Tell us
Barbie,
what
go ahead.
surgery procedures you've had.
Go down the list.
That much, huh?
That much. I've had my nose done.
Yes.
I've had my neck done.
Yes.
I've had my buccal fat done.
Yes.
I've had my breast done
Yes.
3 times.
Ooh, yes.
Well, let me tell you why. Because
There's a legitimate reason.
fashion changes.
Yes.
That is true.
So then
Trends change.
Trends
change, and I wanted to be Pamela Anderson before, and then I went
had
down.
these big
I
breasts.
had big breasts, and then I went down. Then I had a lift, then I went to a smaller implant.
Yeah.
And
then you make them grow with you. They change
exactly,
with you.
you change. It
Yeah.
went like that.
Yeah.
I had a tummy tuck. I've had liposuction. I've had fat transfer. I've had Sofina.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to talk about.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you mentioned the implants. So tell us, because you came bearing some
Yes.
awesome props here.
Yes, so these are actually the Sientra implants. one of the reasons why I brought the Sientra implants is that we work with Sientra because they are the only company in the United States that only sells implants to board-certified plastic surgeons.
Yes.
The reason why I bring this up is because it really does narrow down for somebody that's looking for a breast surgeon. So then like that, if they carry the Sientra implants, you know that they're absolutely 100% board-certified plastic surgeons. The Sientra implants, one of the reasons why we like them is that they're very cohesive. You know, they're, of course, medically grade silicone, but they have such an array of implant sizes, styles, so we can literally do anything. And Dr. Rubinstein's breast surgeries are very customized. He doesn't even choose an implant prior to surgery. What he does is that he makes you do homework. So you need at least 5 breasts that you love and 5 that you hate, because what might be small for you might be too big for me.
Right.
You know, your likings might be very different. And if you have a partner, you're gonna wanna talk about this. So you bring all these pictures, he puts them up on the wall when he's doing the surgery, and he puts something called sizers. So depending on how it looks, okay, he puts the sizer on and he says, okay, that's still too small because this, she says that was too small. This doesn't have enough cleavage, so we're gonna change the style of the implant, the profile of the implant, until he gets to exactly what you like. That's when he takes off the sizers and he puts a brand new pair of implants, and that's how it goes. So my office is full of implants because he has like a gazillion implants for this one surgery. And that's
he orders
how he
them
goes.
specifically for the patient.
Yes.
He orders a gazillion implants for one patient.
Gazillions.
I'm sitting at the front desk.
Boxes.
UPS is coming in. I'm like, what the hell?
More implants.
What's going on? I have nowhere to sit, no
Impressive.
nothing. Yes, and then he sends them all back after he chooses one.
And that's how it goes.
That's it.
Wow,
He makes sure you have the right one.
impressive.
And then we use these in the injector room for when you get your Botox and filler as like a stress ball.
Oh, that's what I had to do when I was getting my fillers.
You want to hear something funny? We have so many implants in the back that I keep because my patients, especially when they go in with their husbands, they get lost.
Yeah.
They get
mysteriously.
They
mysteriously,
get lost.
They grow legs. They start walking
The
around.
patients
Out
take
the
the
door.
implants, and I'm
Oh
like,
my
oh my
God.
god.
They're fun.
So-
'Cause they're indestructible.
So wait a minute. Okay, what is the difference between these and the gummy bear implants, which a lot of people are
Good question.
like
Good question.
Yes.
wanting to get?
So, of course, essentially all of these implants are gummy bears. The reason why is because they're filled with cohesive gel.
Yes.
So if you were to cut this implant and you squeeze it out, you're going to notice that the gel comes out, but it will come right back. So it's like a gummy bear. So right now all of them are cohesive gel as long as they're silicone. However, Sientra just came out with a beautiful new implant that even has a more cohesive gel, which I absolutely love because it's a little bit more firm. And if you want a little bit more of a firm breast and things like that, that is really nice because, you know, I would love a pair of implants like that, you know, as, you know, implants
you thinking about
evolve.
changing?
Oh, 100%. The doctor doesn't know what's coming. It's a facelift, my breast,
Oh
you
my
know.
goodness. So tell me, okay, do you think, because I hear a lot of women who do want breast implants, that they say, oh, I'm going to wait till after I have kids. What do you think about that statement?
This is a very personal decision.
Okay.
See, for me, as a woman, I want to enjoy my body at all times.
Yeah.
So if I can do it now before my children, I'm gonna do it.
Well said.
You know? And then after children, yes, your body's gonna change, but you're gonna need maybe a breast lift and implants, then just redo it again. You know, that's a push.
do
That
it again.
is
No big
called
deal.
a push gift.
No big deal.
You
A
know?
push give. There you go. That's
It's true. Your vagina will never be the same. She deserves new breasts. You know, let's be real, people. It's not true.
Yeah, no, you're right. So I take it you have kids.
Yes, I do. I have a beautiful 24-year-old boy. He is my life.
Yes.
I adore him. I told you, I'm like 80.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you do not look old enough to have a 24-year-old.
He is 24. He's my life. His name is Shamim. Hi, baby.
Aww.
Is that
love
Shomara? He's so cute too. He's so handsome.
Yes,
Absolutely.
he is. So, you know, I do. And, you know, 100%, you should enjoy your body. So if getting implants, is the thing, do it and enjoy it. And then after you have children, then, then do it again. It's quite all right,
Right.
It is what it is. Your body's going to keep changing.
Yep.
Your body will change after children.
Yep.
It will not be the same. So if you want to do it before or you want to do it after, it's a personal decision. It's all up to you and your partner and what you guys want to do.
Right. So you mentioned that your body is always going to be changing. And I noticed that, at least for me, the older I get, the more cellulite I see. So
Cellulite.
I heard word on the street that there's this new thing out.
There is a little thing.
Yes, yes.
That helps
Bring
with
it out.
cellulite. So talk about it.
So a Veli is a device that is very, very nice. It is still minimally invasive, so it is invasive, but it's very nice because it truly is a procedure. It's not a treatment, right?
Okay.
There are certain treatments that we can do. Like, for example, SoftWave has a new indication for cellulite that just came out. Then you have ThermiSmooth that can also help. But this is truly a device that helps. So how it works is like, for example, if this was the skin, here's the superficial layer of the skin, this is the fat, and this is the other layer, right? So if this device goes in, it has a blade that opens and cuts the bands that are giving the cellulite. So like that, the actual, the deviate will pop up. So it's really, really nice.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to kind of let's talk about what cellulite is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the body, the skin has bands, right? Can we see that skin there? Okay.
The skin there.
Yes. Okay.
Let me give you the skin.
So the skin has bands in it, and sometimes those bands are so tight and connected to the tissue that it causes the cellulite. And so, as Barbie said, the treatment goes in and it cuts the band to release it, so that way it's nice and flush and even.
Correct. Yes. Sometimes we do have to put a little bit of fat on where that is, just because we want to make sure that it doesn't go back. But it's very effective, extremely effective. Patients are very, very happy. And, it is sad to say, but 80% of women have cellulite. So,
And
sadly,
actually 100% of men don't. Men don't have
That's
cellulite.
not fair. And I just thought about it. You're right. I've never seen a man with
I hate them all.
Why is that?
It's genetics. It's genetic. I think it's the chromosome
Man, I learn something new every day.
and hormones. And actually, you may notice that in some women that are a little more have a little more testosterone, more of a stronger jaw, stronger back, like stronger, like don't have cellulite either.
Wow.
Huh, I'm going to have to check that
Models.
out.
Wow.
That are like built like Amazonians,
There's even a Barbie cellulite or cellulite Barbie, okay?
there is
So
cellulite.
You told me about it. So was it in the movie? I know you saw it.
Movie. Yes.
Cellulite
yes.
Barbie.
Cellulite Barbie. What did she talk about?
A belly.
Absolutely nothing.
A belly?
Yes. No, it's definitely a great treatment. Our patients are very, very happy with it.
Wow.
So, for any of us that have it, it truly is, something revolutionary, because there has never been truly a procedure that helps with cellulite. This is the only one.
There was one.
There was Selfina. However, Selfina was not perfected because you needed an incision in every single dimple. So then you had all these little holes, which actually I had Selfina, and it worked well. But you have all these little incisions that, somebody like myself that I hyperpigment, it's an issue. But with this, there's very little entry points, and there's a lot less.
And what
So
about the other one that was pulled off the market?
that was the Selfina.
Was that Selfina?
Selfina was pulled off the
The
market.
injection that left everyone
Oh,
bruised.
Quo was
Quo.
pulled off the market.
Yes, it was another cellulite treatment.
It was another
Interesting.
cellulite treatment, but Quo gave so much bruising for the patients and so much staining on the skin that it was pulled off the market.
Wow. Oh, so who pulls it off? Like the FDA? They're like, no.
The FDA and also the health department.
Okay.
And, a lot of the times, for example, Quo was taken off the market by the actual company
Yeah.
because
They were like,
there was just too much complaints.
Yep.
And
And
they
nothing to
just
do to fix it.
and they decided that it wasn't an investment anymore for them.
Interesting. Wow. I mean, who knew that there was just so much that goes into like the body, right?
Yes.
I know.
You know, anything for beauty, it's just insane.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
It is. It's true.
It's insane.
There's option, and that's one of the things I love about our office in particular in the penthouse is that
You just had to put that out there,
we
right?
we offer options that sometimes don't require a knife or even a needle. There's things that you can do, like there's options that don't even have to be invasive. Like we cover everything.
Yes.
For you, and that helps with your budget, with your time frame for recovery, and results. Because some people are more extreme than others and can't do some of the other ones. So.
Sometimes you're not prepared for a scar. Sometimes you're not prepared for something invasive. Sometimes you want to have, go step by step, check off every single item from your list that you tried it before you go to something very invasive. So, it makes sense.
Wow, interesting. Now, I didn't get to ask you.
What?
Have you done any surgeries? Ever?
That's a great question.
I mean, I know you have a great body, but
Here we go.
Okay, my entire career, everyone has told me no. I've had to fight for Botox. I've had to fight for lip filler. I've had to fight for everything.
This is true, people.
Because I don't need it. But do we need anything?
You're right. You're absolutely
We
right.
want it. And so the answer is no, because I don't need it.
Wow. Have you thought about
Absolutely. I ask the doctor all the time. Will
it?
you,
What
I would do a
want
BBL.
done? No way.
Absolutely.
I could totally see you doing a BBL.
You have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine him with a BBL?
Waist and a big booty? But where would you get the fat? You don't have no fat to work
I
with.
would gain the fat if I needed to, but I would take it from my love handles. I take it from places I didn't want to put it back there, and I would even take it a little bit.
Oh my God, Brandon! If you did a BBL, you would be a problem.
Unstoppable.
I mean, you're already a problem now.
Can you
but-
imagine? He'll walk around with a thong.
He already does.
I know, but I'm in the office. What do I do?
You guys are funny because I don't wear underwear at all. But I would start wearing underwear if I got a BBL.
This conversation turned real quick.
Absolutely. But I've even asked for like pec implants. I've asked for a lot of different things, and they've always all said no.
Wow. Now, can I ask you, why would you want any of those things?
Because I don't want to go to the gym. That's why. I don't want to work on it myself. I want it done, and that's it. And so whatever reason you want to have surgery is a good reason, okay? Whatever it is.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, we're going to end on that note. I thank you both for coming here, sharing your both point of view and experiences. Thank you for being so transparent and bringing the props, because this was awesome, right?
Yes. Yes, it's yours to keep.
Yes.
Wow. Thanks for tuning in to Behind the Body MIA edition. If you like what you heard or saw on today's episode, please share, like, and leave a review, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Make sure you subscribe.
And if you have any questions about the topics from this evening, please go ahead and leave a comment below.
Yes.